check is 50 minutes to 2 p.m. Ugandan time. My day has just begun. Barbara Magale are my names, your life coach in financial literacy, and I'm also an advocate for gender sensitive supply chain in agriculture. Congratulations to all the boda guys and saloonists, plus those who operate from arcades, and of course, not forget all the people decided to use their lockdown to venture into agriculture. I want to say congratulations, because now it is a harvest season. I know you must be happy with your harvests, and also you have really played a big role to the economy of Uganda, because at least right now the food price is most likely going to lower a bit as we plan for season 2. Back to my life journey as an entrepreneur, part 2. We ended in part 1 when I sat down and he thought of all the different business ideas that I can do, and he also aligned along with in terms of capital and time. So I zeroed to a cleaning service, and then I was like, okay, yes, I'm going to offer cleaning services, but then what are my product lines? Because most of us just do businesses without even understanding what are your product lines, what are you going to sell out there. So I said, yes, I'm going to sell laundry services, and I'm going to sell home and office cleaning. But at this time, I think, depending on my available resources, I think the best way to go is to start with the with the laundry services. Because like I told you, I didn't have capital. Actually, in addition to the 700,000 that I had in an account, I just had an extra 60,000. So I said, okay, with this 60,000, what do I need to start with? And I also decided to do my business in a different way, in a more professional way, because it was not a new idea. This is an idea that people were already doing out there. Actually, we already had people who were washing clothes in the hostels. But then what I want to tell every entrepreneur there, or a business person out there, in most cases you don't have to start big. That is the number one. You can start small, because in most cases you don't have what it takes to compete with the big competitors out there. And then two, you don't have to copy and paste, just like you've had Barbara is doing this and this, and also just copy and paste. In most cases, you should sit down and ask yourself, how best are you going to do it better than Barbara? That is what we call value proposition. What is your unique selling point? So for me, I said, okay, my unique selling point one is going to be that I'm going to do this business in a more professional way, because my competitors could just move room to room and ask for clothes, and he washed them over at a very cheaper price. I think it was 100 shillings per piece. And then I said, yes, I have to do it in a professional way too. I have to add value to the service. So that night I said, okay, I need to get a company. And to have a company, you must have a name. So by morning, I'd already come up with a name that is real smart cleaning service company by that time. So I went with that name to NASA and asked somebody to make from business cards. I think it was 15,000 plus 2 receipt books. Then the balance I had to buy myself washing powder and a certain liquid detergent that I used to always add in the clothes to differentiate my services from other competitors. So that was my unique selling point. So here I come back to my hostel. I'm like, okay, the following day, business is on. So what do? I decided to. Actually, by that time, I was an evening student, so I used to have the entire day to me. So I dressed up very well, like I was going to an office, carried my bag and my business cards, and I had planned to move to the next hostel, but then I said no, I need to start with the people who are within me. So I went to one of my immediate neighbor, Julius, wherever you are. Thank you very much. You are my first customer, I'll not forget, and your friend. So I knock on their door, and lucky enough they were in. I'm like, yeah, here I am. I am working with this company. It is a cleaning service company, and here I'm marketing. So we offer laundry services, home cleaning and office cleaning. And with laundry services, we do it at an affordable price. We do it at at an affordable price, and we do free pickup and the delivery. So we were like, what, are you very sure? Like, yes. So like, in case you need me, you know my room number, or this is my business card, you can always contact me in case you need our services. So I leave them the business card, and then I moved to the next one. Before I moved even to the third door, because now this was door-to-door marketing. I already get a call from them. They were like, okay, come and take our clothes here. So I picked the clothes for both of them. I took them in my room, like enough, there were not so many. So I washed them, and then I hanged and ironed. Of course, I didn't forget putting the other liquid. I packaged them so well, and by the following day, I brought them back to them, and they were smelling so nice. So they were excited, and they gave me the amount of money asked from them. Actually, they were not bothered how much I charged them. What they were all bothered on was the value addition I'd given to them. So at the end of the sale, I had I think it was around like 17,000. So I'm like, wow, this is good business. So the following day, I still tuned myself very well, like going to an office, and I moved now. This time I decided to go to the neighboring hostel, and what I would knock on each door, introduce myself, tell them I'm also a student at my career university, doing such and such a course, and I work for this company. This is what we do. We offer laundry services and offer free pickup and delivery. So most of them were a bit amazed, excited. Others kept on wondering really well how a university student, well dressed like how I was, could do such a business. So they're like, okay, we'll give it a try, as long as you're giving us your business card. So I moved to the next one. Before I had even finished talking to most of the students in that hostel, I received now calls back to the first ones I talked to, and they had heaped a lot of clothes for me. I was like, wow. I said, okay, yeah, you know what? Do you have bags? Pack them, and then I take them to our area of operation. That's what I told them. I didn't tell them that I washed them from my hostel. So I took them to my hostel, and these clothes were so many. And one thing I forgot to tell you, I'm one person who's also physically weak. I was like, what will I manage this? What will I really handle what I have started for myself? But then lucky enough, an idea came in my mind immediately. I had an immediate neighbor by that time. I'll not mention her name. She was also an evening student, and she needed some finances. She was doing badly. Actually, the parents were not giving her much hope. I think it was like a punishment that she had conceived while at school, and here she was living with her baby, and she was not having enough support. So when I approached her, like, Mama son, so would you mind to wash for me these clothes? I give you some money. By the way, the clothes that I collected that day were worthy 30,000 Ugandan shillings. So in my mind, I was like, okay, if I can give like a 15K and then also remain with the balance. She was like, oh, I have no problem. So I gave her the clothes. And then I gave her the washing pad and all the other detergents. So I supervised her washing. She washed them very well. Actually, I told her, one is me. I'm going to continue getting new clothes to wash, but I would like you to wash these clothes for each client separately. I don't want you mixing of the clothes. And actually, it was one of my unique selling points, because most of the people who have been doing the same business, they could just, I think, or maybe because of the little money they were giving them, they could just mix people's clothes, which is quite a risk. I don't think anybody out there would love to have your clothes mixed with other people's clothes when it comes to washing. So it is one thing that I always took as very important in my business, and it is one thing that I always told my workers that they must put into consideration. Every client's clothes must be washed separately, however much they are. So she did the same, and I packaged the clothes. Then the following day, I was on their door doing the deliveries. So like, what? this is amazing. Actually, most of them were excited because we could take back the clothes well ironed and actually smelling good. And that was now our secret, what we call the unique selling point. Don't just copy and paste the business. You must be different. You must bring you must invest in value addition. So that's where most of the business people or entrepreneurs go wrong. Yeah. So, and then another thing I forgot to tell you that what these clients of mine used to pay me on spot. By the time I come to pick your clothes, of course I issue a receipt whereby I could write the different your different clothes, your name, contact, hostel number, hostel and room number, and then you of course I give you the receipt and you have to pay me. And so it's only on a few occasions whereby I could offer credit services. So that's how my journey of the cleaning services began. I now I kept on moving to different hostels. Even during my class time, before the lecturer comes in, I could share my business card. So the little money I'd made within the first 2 weeks, I decided to go back and reinvest by now making flyers. And it was during that time that now I was moving the flyers that I got my way to Global Business Lab for mentorship as a business entrepreneur. Just keep watching for part 3. I'll be sharing with you on how I got my way to Global Business Lab and how I got in touch with my business partner and what happened next. All the best.